You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ the Tar Heel, and in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about the North Carolina spring practice, the open practice that the North Carolina Tar Heels held on the ACC Network, and we're going to talk about this on the way to my son's baseball game. So I apologize for the time lapse between videos, man. I have been working my stinking butt off, dude. I just got back in the gym, so I am sore as all get out right now, and it has just been a busy last part of the week, bro. Literally, it's been 2:30 wake-ups, work at 5 until stinking 4:30, and then it seems like every day, you know, I got my son either has a practice or my son and my daughter have got games, and there you go, man. I'm headed there right now, bro. So there's no rest for the weary, but it's okay, man. I'll man up and get it done, right? Because that's what Tar Heels do. But anyway, without further ado, man, just to kind of talk about some of the things that I observed in that spring practice. And, you know, obviously you have to start off with Carolina's missing a lot of personnel right now, right? So you got some guys that were banged up at the end of last year. Kamen Rucker, the Butcher, you know, he's sitting out of spring practice right now because he just had surgery on his right hand. So hopefully all goes well and smooth with that. And, you know, he'll be ready for the fall, which everybody believes that he will be. You know, we saw an appearance from J.J. Jones, and I really enjoyed J.J. Jones' little piece that he did with the ACC Network, man. J.J. seems like a super cool dude, bro, and I'm telling you guys right now, I'm looking for J.J. Jones to have a really good year, bro. I really am, man. I think he's a very underrated wide receiver, and, you know, although he may not be, like, necessarily the burner that a Tez Walker is or somebody of that nature, man, dude, J.J. Jones is just a football player, bro. He really is, and he does an exceptional job of putting his body between the defender and the ball, man. He seals people off very well, dude. So I am really looking forward to watching Five play, dude, and I think he's going to have a big year. But obviously, he's sitting out right now. So, you know, starting off, and this is just kind of off the cuff, man. There's no notes or anything like that, but how about what a beautiful day in Chapel Hill, dude? Yeah, it was real breezy, windy. I guess breezy would probably not be a good term for that, but I mean, what a great stinking day to have the ACC Network out there. You got Carolina blue skies. You got just Kenan Stadium and all of its stinking glory, bro. It's still one of, if not the most picturesque stadium in all of college football, bro. I'm saying park because it's kind of baseball season right now. So, but just a beautiful, beautiful stadium, dude. And just watching, you know, Carolina out there, dude, it just does something for me, bro. I've always loved Kenan Stadium. It's like literally, I don't know if there's anywhere else that I'd rather be than Kenan Stadium, bro. I mean, I just love Kenan Stadium and Carolina football, dude. So, just good to see, you know, some football being held right there in Kenan again, dude. So that was fun. Now, one of the things that everybody is looking for, you know, going into spring practice is obviously it's unmistakable what we all are really wanting to see, man. And one of the biggest storylines, it's the biggest storyline because of the position, is the quarterback battle, right? The quarterback battle per se. And, you know, I did a couple of videos ago talking about who was going to be the quarterback for North Carolina in 2024. And I kind of alluded to the fact that I really believe that it was going to be Max Johnson, right? When you take into the fact that Max has played some big-time football before. He's played in some big-time programs. You know, Max has attempted a ton of passes at the collegiate level, and he's got a lot of experience, you know. And literally about 2-3 weeks ago, man, I was all in on, you know, the understanding that that would eventually win out, right? And I think we all kind of believe that Max has like, what's the best way to phrase this, man? I always get this kind of stuff wrong, dude. But Max has the lower ceiling, but he's got the higher floor. Connor maybe has a lower floor, but he's got a much higher ceiling. And I don't know about you guys, bro, but every clip that I've seen ever since I made that video and going into spring practice, Connor Harrell looks good, man. Connor Harrell looks good. The ball is kind of just coming out of his hand, bro, with just a different velocity, like a velocity, bro. It's coming out of his hand. And Max Johnson, obviously it's a little goofy, it's a little unorthodox. Lefties always kind of have just a weird throwing motion. And, I keep hearing people say that he can make all the throws and he's got zip on the football and everything. I just have not necessarily observed that. I haven't observed the zip. Connor has got zip, right? Connor has got stinking zip. And Connor is an athlete. And I was impressed with the little bit that I saw of Connor Harrell in the spring game. I really was, man. I really stinking was. And I still think this is going to be super interesting. Obviously, they are not going to announce who is the starting quarterback at the end of this spring practice, going into the spring game. This thing is going to go all the way through the summer. It's going to leak into about probably 1, 2, 3 weeks before the season starts because, one, they don't want one of these guys to enter the transfer portal, and two, you don't want to tip off your hand, right? But I think that these guys, they also want them to push one another. They're two very different players, right? Max Johnson's, he doesn't like to be called a game manager. Okay, fine, right? You're not a game manager. But, he's deceptively quick. He's deceptively fast. He is deceptively faster than what he appears to be. But obviously, Connor Harrell is an athlete on a different level. And when you couple that with the fact that the ball is just coming out of Connor's hands at just a different level than Max Johnson, at least what I could see initially, I think that kind of separates him, man. So then the next question is does Connor prove throughout these next couple of months that he can be smart with the football, not turn the football over, right? Not turn the football over. That is the key. Now, I still am very hesitant to think that Max Johnson came there to ride the pine. I don't know if that's the case, bro. And we're speaking way too early here. But, I think that if Connor starts and then you try to convince Max, hey, buy your time, wait your chance. It's like, this guy's younger than me. I came here to play football. I don't know how well that's going to sit with him. I think you have a better chance of keeping them both on the roster if Max starts and then maybe he eventually loses the job or something like that. Even if Max Johnson starts, there would be definitely packages in place for Connor Harrell. Now, one thing that I don't want to see is I don't want to see a two-quarterback system. I'm not a big fan of that. I hate it. I despise it. I haven't heard anybody talking about possibly doing that, but I just want to go ahead and get that out there that I would never, ever be in favor of such a thing. I can't stand it, bro. Give somebody the keys and let them drive the stinking car, right? And right now, I just was really impressed with Connor, bro. Really impressed. Footwork in the pocket, the way the ball's coming out of the hand. It seems like he made some really good reads, and he's dangerous on the ground. So right now, looking at that spring practice and just a few clips that I've looked at, bro, I personally believe that Connor Harrell has the upper hand. But both of these guys have got to be ready because obviously you're one play away from getting an injury and be thrusted into that starting position. Hell, Max Johnson knows that because he lost the battle at Texas A&M to Weigman. I think it's Weigman. I think that's how you pronounce it. And, Weigman ended up getting hurt a couple of games into the season, and then Max Johnson was the stinking guy until he got hurt. So, hopefully the understanding is there that no matter what happens right here, both of these guys got to be ready to play some stinking football. And, it'll be just exciting to continue to watch that battle throughout the stinking summer. Now, another thing that I was excited about is just the listening to the coaches talk about the young guys, right? So J.J. Jones is out. Carolina's got a couple of receivers out and everything like that. Nate McCullum was in there, but they talked about Paul Billups. They talked about Alex Taylor. They talked about Jordan Shipp, and yes, they are freshmen. But to me, on the onset, those guys look the stinking part, bro. They just look good. They look good. They look older and more mature than they are, bro. And I think it's going to be really exciting to see what those guys can bring to the table, throughout the year. Maybe they don't play as much in the beginning, or heck, with the, Charlotte and James Madison and North Carolina Central, who knows, man? They might get some early stinking burn and, mature quicker than what we would even, kind of dream up that would be the case, right? They get that early burn against lesser competition. But they're saying that these guys are good, man. And I think it goes beyond coach speak, especially Jordan Shipp, bro. Especially Shipp, dude. I think Shipp is going to be a stinking playmaker for the Heels, if not this year, starting next year, bro. And I think Alex Taylor is right behind him. And then, like I said, you got Chris Culliver and Paul Billups that are sophomores, so freshman sophomores in that mix too, bro. So the wide receiver room is healthy. It is stocked full of talent, and I'm excited to watch those young guys come up behind the J.J. Jones and those guys like that. Now, the tight end room, once again, Nesbitt's out right now. Copenhaver's out. They're recovering from injuries that they occurred at the tail end of last season, so we didn't get to see them. Got to see a little bit of Jake Johnson and some of the younger tight ends, and, I think the tight end room is really good. Another thing that was interesting to watch is, from all accounts, man, they're saying that this offensive line is gelling fairly well. Now, obviously, I got to see it in game time situations, right? We got to see this crap, bro, right? So it's going to be interesting to watch, Howard and Blasky and, Travion Green and Willie Lampkin, all those guys gel together. And, but it seems that Mac Brown is super optimistic about these guys being at least serviceable offensive line, man. And that's music to my ears, because seems like ever since Sam Howell's last year, bro, we have not done the greatest job at protecting the quarterback and giving them clean pockets. So continue to watch that offensive line mature, grow together as a unit, and hopefully be able to keep Connor and Max clean a lot more often than not. So those are just some things that I observed on the offensive side, right? Now, one of the things that and of course, Marion Hampton, the All-American, he's not going to get a ton of carries in the stinking spring game, right? We expected that. We got a lot of Davion Gauss, he looked like a freshman, right? Nothing bad. He did put the ball on the floor one time, and I'm sure he got lit up for that, if not on the spot, a little bit later, because you can't stink and lose the football. But I'm pretty sure it was Davion Gauss. But, nothing crazy in the run game per se, right? Nothing crazy in the run game per se. Now, going over to the defensive side, I'm really excited about this secondary, man. I think when Allen gets back, I think with Huzzy moving over to that stinking safety position, and I am really hoping that a guy like DeAndre Boykins can get healthy and, do some good things in that star position so that we can keep Huzzy out on the stinking corner, because he's just so good there, dude. So hopefully DeAndre can get healthy and get back into that star position and keep Allen and Huzzy out on the stinking corners. And then, another guy that you got to be looking at is, Tyron Stewart, Jakeem Harris. We're not going to say where he's from, but, they're saying Stick Lane. I saw a clip in one of the practices, man, where my dude stinking, it's a safety fire, bro, and surprisingly enough, and we'll talk about this in a second, Travis Shaw is clearing a stinking hole for, my guy to stinking come through unabated to the quarterback. Max Johnson rolls to his left and just throws across his body right into stinking Elijah Hussey's chest, bro, and he almost returned that to the house. He may have, if they would have let the stinking play go. They're not trying to get anybody hurt. But, that was good to see, man. The aggression, bro. Like, don't just sit back and let them pick you apart. I like the idea that Jeff Collins is like, hey, bro, we're bringing fire from everywhere, dude. Everywhere. You don't know if it's coming from the backers. You don't know if it's coming from the safeties. You don't know if it's coming from the corners, bro. I like it. Be aggressive, man. If you get burned sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you'll take that on the chin, bro, so that you can get a couple of second and third and longs and, force some 3 and outs, dude. I'm really excited about this new philosophy. I really am. We just had so many years of kind of sit back and wait. Bateman wasn't necessarily like that as much as Coach Chiz was, but I'm just excited, man, to see what this defense can do. I really don't think that it can do any worse than it has been, per se, and that's even with Cedric Gray gone. I've told you guys 100 times, man, I'm excited about stinking Amari Campbell. Now, one of my concerns is that, I feel like we're thin behind, Amari and Power Eccles. We're real thin at linebacker. We're young. We'll put it that way. You got Ashton Woods. You got a couple of other newer kids back there and everything, but we're young behind those guys. And Amari Campbell is still young. But I just like the way Amari Campbell fills holes, bro. I feel like he's an aggressive backer, and I feel like he's going to help us in the run game. I really do. I really feel like Amari's going to be a good player, man, especially right next to Power. Another place, and this is the concerning part of the defense for me, is that we're thin at, at least going into the spring, is defensive tackle. And that's already been kind of a weak spot over the last couple of years anyway, man. I mean, yeah, we got Kevin Hester, we got Hester, we have Jahvaree Ritzie, and then you got, obviously, Travis Shaw. And those are kind of like your 3 studs, if you will. They kind of anchor down that middle, dude. And, it's nothing new. These are the same guys that were there last year. And then you got Starlings and some other guys that are kind of on that back end that they're going to take some time to kind of grow into their body. Like I said, being in the trenches, bro, at 18, 19 years old is completely different than playing a skill position, like Alex Taylor or, Jordan Shipp out on the stinking outside, running routes and trying to block DBs and stuff like that. Completely different part of the game. But that's my main concerns right now, man, is developing that depth in the linebacker position and through that defensive tackle spot, because that's the heart, bro. That is the heart. If we can't at least hold the line, bro, not even like necessarily pushing the offensive lineman back into the quarterback's lap, hold the line, bro, so that the backers can keep those stinking offensive linemen out of their laps so that they can strafe and make plays. It could be another stinking long season. It really could. It really could, man, if all people got to do is run the football down our throat. And we'll get tested on that in week 1. Because that Minnesota is still going to be a football team that's going to try to pound it, dude. This is what they're going to stink and do. Because that's Big Ten football out there for you. But I really want to continue to watch the development of the depth at the defensive tackle and the linebacker position, because Coach Mack Brown has said, hey, we got to use more people, man. We have got to get more people in the football game so that we're fresher in the tail end of the season. 3 straight years, bro. 3 straight years, if I'm not mistaken, of Carolina finishing 1-4 after being in the top 15 at least. Unacceptable. So we got to find ways to finish. And it's going to be developing that depth so that we can keep legs nice and fresh at the end of the season. But I'm really excited, man. And I'm not just saying that to kind of pump it up and, get everybody excited for no reason. I really, I've seen people say, oh, another 8-4 Carolina season. Maybe, maybe 8 wins, maybe 9 wins, maybe 10 wins. I don't know. Who the hell knows, bro? We could stick and shock the world. It's not like the Atlantic Coast Conference right now is an absolute juggernaut from top to bottom, dude. And Carolina has a favorable schedule, if you will, which they've had that for the last couple of years, and they're still going 8-4, 9-win seasons and everything. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's like I've said a couple of times, man, like maybe without all the stinking hype, Carolina will be, they'll have to focus on getting better, man, as a team, and not just sit back there and let Sam Howell or depend on Sam Howell and Drake May kind of win the game for him, dude. So I'm really excited about this season. I've seen some good things, man. And like I said, I really do. I think I'm not sold on Connor yet. I'm not sold on him yet, but I'm liking what I see. And the only reason that I'm not it has nothing to do with the kid's ability. The kid has tremendous ability. But I'm one of those kind of conservative kind of guys that's like, but he doesn't have the experience yet. It's the lack of experience that makes me nervous. Now, some of you will probably say, Russ, you are tripping, dude. I mean, Sam didn't have experience. He was great. Drake took the spot after being a year in the program. He didn't have much experience, and he had a great first year at Carolina. ACC Player of the Year. Maybe Connor can do that. I think he's got that kind of ceiling, man. I mean, just what he can do in the game. Big arm, quick, fast. It's, can he be smart? Which he made great decisions during the stinking practice, man. Can he be smart and lead the team down the field consistently, bro? But if you're asking me today, Russ, who are you putting in there? Bro, I got to go with Connor. I got to go with Connor with what I've seen, man. I mean, I just feel like Max has been a little bit late on some throws, man. He's kind of short-hopped a couple of, running backs out of the backfield. And he's getting used to the team. He's getting used to the personnel, But if you ask me today, Russ, who is your guy that's going out there week 1? Which obviously we're not naming a starting quarterback right now. I got to put Connor out there, bro, because of what he's thinking capable of. What I think his ceiling is. So that's going to be super exciting to watch, man, because maybe, just maybe it's not as far of a drop-off as so many people were anticipating. We constantly talk about the generational quarterbacks. Sam Howell, Drake May, gone. What do we got to show for it? ACC championship game appearance, a couple of blowout losses in bowl games, just wasted talent. Well, you know what? Who knows, man? Who knows? But I don't think it's going to be as much, not as big of a drop-off as a lot of people are anticipating. And I think Connor, I think his ceiling, I'm talking about his ceiling now, I think his ceiling could be really good, man. So I'm excited about the kid. Hell, I'm still excited about Max Johnson because you can't just throw away 4 years of college experience at big-time programs like that, right? Who knows, man? The next couple of months, bro, he just grows into, his spot, his position, and then he just starts raking. And then you're like, dude, this guy is like a really good quarterback, which I think that he still is a good, serviceable quarterback. Forgive me for all the bumps and everything. But, I liked what I saw, man. I liked what I saw, especially considering that so many of the starters, some of our star players they didn't even get to play because they're recovering from injury. So, I'm really excited about this team, man. And I really think that this is going to be a different year than a lot of Carolina fans have been anticipating from the end of last year. So do me a favor, man. Let me know what you think about the spring practice and everything down in the comment section, Tar Heel Nation. I'm a little bummed that we're not going to get this thing and watch the spring game. But you know what? At the same time, I understand it. Because your boy is far away, so it's not going to be televised. And I am super bummed about that. But, I'm sure that we'll get some good insight nonetheless, man. But let me know, like I said, bro, what you think about that open practice, man. What did you see? Who do you like at quarterback, dude? Where do you think Carolina's going to be good? What are the positions that you think Carolina needs to improve the most, man? And I guess you could just go ahead and throw in there some preliminary ideas of what you are anticipating this season to be like. So, like I said, man, your boy is excited. Always excited about Carolina football. But I think this is going to be a better season than a lot of people thought, not even just a couple of months ago. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out, man. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.